Hello everyone. In this video, I will show you one of the most important techniques you can learn in the Binding of Isaac, which is to manipulate troll bombs and enemies in order to break rocks and open doors which would otherwise require you to spend a bomb. The reason why I think this is such a big deal is because if you do these things properly, it will majorly affect a vast majority of your runs, because bombs are almost always a very scarce resource in the early game. And it is extremely common to find troll bombs or enemies that can actually help you with saving up your actual bombs. So let's get started with using troll bombs. So I've got my Anarchist cookbook here to show you an example of how to use troll bombs. So I'm gonna spawn a cluster of troll bombs, and the way you use troll bombs is most often just room reset, because this will reset the fuse, the timer of the bombs, and lets you spend however long you want repositioning the bombs. Because you can use your tiers, you can use Isaac himself to, push around the bombs in any way you want. So the first thing you want to be really careful about is that they can bounce around each other and often catch you off guard. So what I would recommend doing here is to first of all just separate them. Be really careful every time, but just separate them so they can't bounce each other into you randomly. And then you want to, place them into where you want the explosions to be. And this could be breaking pots, breaking tinted rocks, or any kind of rocks. It could be opening doors, usually secret room doors, but also like, any kind of door that you want to break for some reason. So we're gonna push this bomb up. And the way the knockback of bombs is calculated is not only the angle of the shots, but also where you hit the bomb. So if I just shoot like at a straight angle to the right, if I hit the bomb from below, it will actually get pushed up like this. So I think that one is next to the secret, so now I'm gonna push this one. I have the mine here just as an example, but often you don't know where the secret is, so you just have to push around the troll bomb to wherever you think the secret would be. Or if you have multiple troll bombs, like this case, just in every wall, just to have everything covered. And I think this is alright. They're just gonna push each other horizontally. That one might have actually been bad, because this thing pushed this bomb downwards. This could have actually missed the secret if it had a really long fuse. So you also gotta think about that one. I did a slight mistake here, but I didn't really get punished for it. Now I've got another example for you. So we got this troll bomb down here. Let's ignore the map for a second and imagine a scenario where you want to check this left wall right here for a secret room. So what you want to do in this situation is really utilize all the different doors in this room to use this troll bomb and move it far away. So it's in a really difficult position right now, but we can use the shop door here. And from this angle move it left, all the way. Now we can go from here. It's a pretty long fuse on this bomb, thankfully. And now we can go over here. I don't really want to push it down into those, down between those rocks. Yeah, and now we can go here. Oh, more troll bombs. Lovely. And there we have it. We've checked this wall for secret. Now the most important thing to know is to just be ready for troll bombs. Every room clear, you should ideally be ready for a troll bomb to spawn from the room clear reward. Every time you open a chest, every time you grab a grab bag, just be ready for a troll bomb to spawn. And here I've got another example for you. We spawned a troll bomb in this room, But I'm not really sure yet if I want to check the left wall or the upper wall for a secret room, but we only got one try because of one troll bomb. So what we can do in this situation is just, we don't have to make that decision right now. We can check for the other rooms, and now that I've been in this room I can see the upper wall is only connected to one room, which means it's very unlikely to actually be the secret room. It's also very unlikely to be the super secret room, because it's right next to the spawn point. Which means that now, after seeing this room, I want to check for the left wall. So I'm gonna start doing that. There. So it wasn't secret, but it was more likely than the upper wall. So this enemy is the mulligan, and this is probably the most important enemy to know how to manipulate into using these explosions, because it's an extremely common enemy in the early game. But it's also one of the more complicated ones to actually know how to utilize. So the best way to describe it is that he's got 3 different states. He's got the idle state, which we can see from his eyes. So he's not really wide-eyed. He's in his idle state. But once you reach closer, you can see he opens his eyes. And that's when he reaches his aggro state. And he always predictably runs away from you. But the catch is that once he's been aggroed for a little while, he's going to reach his 3rd state, which is that he runs away, but in a more unpredictable manner. You see, he runs like towards me sometimes. It's really unpredictable. So the way you avoid this is to just de-aggro. You go outside his aggro range. So the goal here is to aggro him, and then after 2 or 3 seconds, when he would usually, reach his other state of being more predictable. Blow up here, but that's fine. I'm just gonna spawn another one. That's when you just de-aggro, and then you aggro him again. So you aggro, and then you go away, de-aggro, and then you notice the eyes. You always look at the eyes here. That's the easiest to tell. Like this. You see, it always goes near the wall. And there we go. That's how you use mulligans. This also works the same exact way with mulligans. The only thing that you have to keep in mind here is that mulligans don't spawn any enemies, so the room will clear immediately. Also, it spawns a troll bomb when you die, so you can just kind of shoot mulligans to kill them earlier. Now, mulli booms, you can also use them like this. You bait them into the spot you want, and then you just shoot them. Now, they are quite a bit more dangerous, and I would say that in actually most situations, you should probably just not even think about using them for this purpose, and just try to clear the room without taking damage. But if you're in a room where you're comfortable with using them and not getting hit, you can try to utilize them for the explosion too. You can also use basically any Dark Cyan champion in the game for its explosion. Now some of these enemies are a bit more harder to manipulate where they go. You see this guy just walks randomly, so very often you have to wait a really long time. So sometimes it's not worth it, but if you really want to, or really need to, you can try to use these champion enemies. The thing about these round enemies is that both the ipecac shots they shoot out and the shockwave have the properties to open secret rooms. The problem is that in large rooms, it is very rare for them to actually reach the sides, because they have a certain range in which they can spawn, and they can't really spawn outside, like in this area where I'm at. And the same goes for the other side, so they can't reach like this area. They can actually still shoot the doors to the right and left. It just takes ages. So it depends on how much you want to value your time if it's actually worth effort to check the sides. But it should be relatively easy to at least open the upper and lower doors. And of course in smaller rooms, it's pretty easy to check every side. We also got the ticking spider enemy. So this one just explodes. And this room is perfect for showing you how to room reset. We just take one of these spiders and bring it over to our door here. Now you can use every other explosion in this room to do whatever. You can check for secrets in every single wall. You can open this. You can explode these rocks. And instead of clearing the room, in this case the last enemy alive, I just room reset. And now I have basically infinite explosions. Which is obviously very useful. So I guess I should look for a secret here. I'll use this mulligan, de-aggro him to make sure he actually goes down, and then just shoot him and get the troll bomb there. So yeah, infinite explosions, pretty good. Look out for these kind of rooms. Like basically any room with like 2 or more exploding enemies, you should have infinite explosions if you play it correctly. So keep that in mind. Now I'm gonna teach you how to use the migraine enemy. So this one, make sure, like you really have to make sure this guy dies last in the room. Not only because it's better for manipulating the troll bombs, but you just don't really want to get hit by the troll bombs while you're clearing the rest of the room. So it's like really good to kill him last. And now I can use, regular room resets to just, use these troll bombs like normal, like I showed at the beginning of the video, instead of having to deal with them in combat. Now something else you can do is to use mini bosses. This can be done with Sloth and Pride. There, I think that checked that wall. Yeah, just like that. Something else you can utilize is the Mom's Foot Stomp, either from Mom's Toenail or one of the High Priestess cards. And yes, even the reverse High Priestess is good, just don't use it in combat. Yeah, the Mom's Toenail change is pretty recent, so maybe you don't really know yet, but you can just, in any combat room, this enemy is annoying for this showcase, but yeah, you can drop the Mom's Toenail and it will stomp where you're at. But you have to do it in combat. Now we're in Dross and Downpour, and we also got a few enemies we can utilize here, like the Gas Dwarf. This one's kinda tough. I actually didn't fail, because there were gas clouds here. Convenient. This is also the case for the Spit enemy. You wanna make sure that you are like next to the secret room, like that. Now Poot Mines are very weird. And this one you want less damage, because sometimes you just don't have enough hits to move them into the secret room, right? You kind of want to push them to where you want. But I don't think you have enough damage in this case, or I don't think I have low enough damage in this case. I'm just gonna kill it before I actually reach the secret room. Yeah, maybe if I was better at moving it, if I just like moved it in a straight line, it could have worked. It's a bit of a difficult one to master. Of course, we've got the classic Boomfly in caves, and also the drowned Boomfly in flooded caves. These are pretty easy to utilize, it's just they take quite a lot of time sometimes. There's a few more enemies in caves that you can utilize for their explosions, but I don't really think I have to actually explain how they work. I mean, it's pretty simple, just get them to explode where you want. So I'm just gonna move over to the final area I'm going to cover in this video, which is mines and ash pit. The first enemy we can utilize here is the blaster. Just make sure to not kill this guy until you utilized all the fly bombs. Now you can actually use the hard hose too. This one is a bit inconsistent, so sometimes you need a few tries. This time I guess I got it the first try, but keep that in mind. Sometimes you have to do it a few more times. We also got the bomb gagger enemy, but I don't think I have to explain how you utilize that one. So this bomb grimace is an endless supply of bombs, but you can actually move these bombs to other rooms. However, if you just do it normally, like this, you're probably going to get hit, or at least, yeah, it's gonna be hard to actually find a secret. What you can do instead is, let me spawn him again, it's that you can drop any card or trinket, and then move the bomb, push it like this, during the pickup animation. And now, from this point, it's gonna be so much easier to just open the secret in this room. And the very last thing I want to talk about is Blood Puppy, because even though he can't open secret rooms, he can still break rocks. All you need to do is to level him up to level 3. So I've just spawned a few flies here to level him up, and as you can see, while he's attacking all these flies, he's actually destroying the rocks. So if you have some rocks you want to break, and you don't really want to spend any bombs on it, consider leveling up Bluppy. It will also give you some hearts. But yeah, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. I'll see you next time.